What up, people? It's your man, Cypher Sam, here today to do Naruto 616 chapter review. Alright, first off, the chapter starts off with a cold spread of Sasuke looking up at the 5 Mountains, which means he is in Konoha for some reason, which means the people who know everything may or may not be in Konoha, but somewhat connected to Konoha. So that's interesting. But yeah, so then the chapter starts off with Suigetsu, Jugo, Sasuke, and Orochimaru sensing chakra like resonating within them. And Orochimaru notices the most annoying Sasuke the most because they all realize that the chakra whose it is, or at least Orochimaru and Sasuke knows it's Naruto. So that pisses Sasuke off even more. But so and then they head off to where Orochimaru's leading the way, so Orochimaru knows where to go. So it's good to see Orochimaru, by the way. We haven't seen it like, even though Orochimaru is a villain, he has been the most consistent villain throughout the entire Naruto series. And we haven't had any kind of panel time with him or Sasuke since Sasuke made Orochimaru pop out Anko's neck like a jack-in-the-box. So, we haven't had any kind of panel time from Sasuke nor Orochimaru since then. So it's good to see them. First chapter of the year, so it's nice to see them. And speaking of Sasuke and them being in Konoha, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go get Karen out of prison. And since Sasuke has this thing about once somebody falls in love with him, no matter what he does to them, he will still be in love with him. Like Sasuke, like Sakura, Naruto, Karen. Like, no matter what he does to them, he'll still be in love with them. But I digress. So we jump back over to the battlefield, and Naruto is just giving up. He knocks his power up, and she from the Hidden Cloud, one of Raikage's dudes, he had noticed that it's not the Kyuubi chakra that Naruto is using. He's using his own chakra, because somehow Shikaku figured out how to disperse the Kyuubi chakra in that short amount of time. And now Naruto has figured out how to convert Kyuubi's chakra into his own chakra in such short periods. So that's interesting. So after that, him and Kurama have a quick little chit chat, saying like sorry to keep you waiting, but feel free to shoot out some shadow clones. And Naruto commences to shoot out some shadow clones, and he goes over to Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji first, so they can start the plan that Shikaku has set out right before he had got blown to bits. So he hits Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru. Then after this, he goes through the crowd with his hands out, doing a series of high fives on the way, hitting everybody that was necessary for the plan that was needed. So Madara and Obito, they see this, and they ain't trying to deal with this. So Hinata, using empty fist, high fives the Ten-Tail's hand into a rock. And when after that, the Amici clan, using the Naruto power up that they got, grabbed the other hands, locking up his arms, so they won't be able to fire toothpicks. But Obito's like, don't mess with us. So he tries to shoot toothpicks at their faces. So, right at this moment, Ino and Shikamaru is about to launch their attacks, and then a flashback happens, basically showing the panels like from a few chapters ago that right when they died, the panels between that Shikamaru and Ino had, but there was no kind of dialogue or no kind of connection to it. They was just there. They show what they was actually hearing and talking about at that moment. So which was kind of cool, like Shikaku and Shikamaru's final conversation. Basically, Shikaku saying, "I know I wasn't the best. I know only thing I really did for you was play shogi with you. You must think I'm an utter failure." And he's like, "No, that was more than enough, because I watched you from a short distance, and I know what it means to be a man, and I know what it means to take action when necessary." And that was touching. And what was kind of funny, the last words he said to Shikamaru was, "Make sure your mama don't find out about the shit on the left shelf." Right. That was kind of funny, and then there was a heartfelt moment with Inoichi and Ino basically saying that she's become the flower that represents our clan by the way she interacts and the way she protects her friends and protects and whatnot. So that was a kind of touching moment. Those were the last words, and basically saying no matter what, we'll always live inside with you. And basically, that's when the juvie bomb hit. So after that, they fly to the battlefield, and Ino goes into Obito's mind with the mind transfer jutsu, thus redirecting the spikes away from the Amichi's faces. And then at that time, Shikamaru, along with the Nara clan, they locked down the Jubi with the Shadow Possession Jutsu, boosted by the Naruto power-up that they all received. Then the Dara standing there so predictable, like, oh, it's so predictable, it's the Nara binding jutsu, blah, 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 blah. Thing is with Madara, he could kill everybody if he detached himself from Jubi for 5 seconds and use, the Jubi for 5 seconds and then use perfect Susanoo. You could take out 97.6% of that army with one swipe. But since he does it, he sits there and thinks it's boring. If it's so boring, why don't you end it? What I understand why he's not going to, from a story standpoint, that would be completely retarded as a story standpoint, and we'll all be mad at that outcome. But as a general spectrum, Madara could end it all if he felt like it. He's just choosing not to. So, but yeah, after that, we get a shot of Neji and Lee, because Lee didn't get any kind of pound time the chapter right after Neji's death. Right after Neji's death, Lee did not get no kind of pound time, no kind of nothing, so where he could be able to, close that up. So he's crying over Neji's body, like, Neji, Neji. My guy was like, Lee, it's not the time for tears. And as long as we keep Neji inside our hearts, he'll never be gone. Then Obito heard that, so he had to chime in, because he's like, if people die, you gotta be the Joker from now on. You have to be the most evilest person in the world, and it's a curse, and blah, 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 blah. And then Kakashi chimes in to make sure that Naruto doesn't get despaired by that shit again. But Naruto's already past that, so he's like, don't even worry about Kakashi. Like, I already know if, like, we're ninjas. Yes, and those who are dirt are ninjas. So, Like, that's how it is. And basically, that's how the chapter ends. Like, overall, it's a pretty good chapter. Like, a lot of talking, a lot of high-fiving. High fives for everybody around here. High five. But it was a pretty good chapter. Not the best, not the worst. Can't complain about it. But that's it for me. Make sure you rate, comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And y'all have a good one. Deuces.